Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Science of Focus by Pravrajika wait, Divyanandaprana. Divyananam. So interesting. Sarvapriyananda, but why in this one is there prana at the end? Pravri. Oh my gosh. Let me try to pronounce it right. Pravrajika Divyanandaprana. Best I can do. But is it because she's female that there's prana at the end? I don't remember if in other videos I reacted to her that it had that on there or not. It's been a little bit. Anyway, let's go and get started.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. See, he asked a very interesting question. More light on sanskars. Can it be possible that our vrittis are not good, but sanskars are okay? No. From the beginning, your vrittis have generated your sanskars, according to yoga psychology. आप जैसे consciously सोचोगे वैसे ही संस्कार बनते जाएंगे. Are you catching this point? इसलिए consciously हम क्या सोचते हैं, that becomes important. And sanskars ये योग में they are studied in thoroughly in a big way. See, at least your grandparents at home must be telling you, you must have good sanskars, अच्छे संस्कार चाहिए और इसके लिए ये करो वो करो. कितने सारे mechanisms invent किए हैं जिससे बच्चों में अच्छे संस्कार आए हैं ना. घरों में it's natural in this culture. So all this is meant not to restrict your freedom or to dominate upon your freedom or anything like that. It is only meant to generate certain traits in you. कुछ संस्कारों को जन्म देने के लिए वो सब बनाया गया है. तो इसीलिए if you understand this, you will yourself adopt it. So that is why I am giving you all knowledge of sanskar. See, without all this knowledge, you cannot handle your attention. Although that is all you need. Without understanding the background, क्योंकि आपका मन जो है ना, that is the sheet or you can say the substratum, the foundation upon which your attention is built. अगर वो foundation ही ऐसा it's not functioning properly, how will you build attention on that? इसलिए ये वृत्ति संस्कार ये सब you must pay attention to it. This is the groundwork, stabilizing the chitta, then building attention, building focus. People who are very agitated in mind, can they build focus? Tell me. Can they hold attention on anything? आप खुद ही देखो ना, अपनी अवस्था देखो. We don't have to go anywhere. Sometimes our mind will behave in such a way, impossible to stop it or control it. So you cannot build attention at that moment.
I will say, I did say that, like, it's very hard for me to focus. My mind's running through a lot of things, but it's not that it's a bad thing necessarily for me. I've understood it in a sense. It's weird to say that I understand my mind, as though I am not my mind. But I understood it. I understand what it's doing. It's things that I like for it to think about because it's nice to solve it. But I think I see it in some perspective that it's doing its thing. I'm merely observing it. And again, mind you, it's like, I'm not saying I'm doing that for everything, but there are certain parts of the day where it's doing a lot of things and I'm not even bothered by it. But not too very often. I do obviously go along with it because my mind generally thinks of issues and stuff and potential solutions, and I'm there with it because I need to fix those problems anyway. But I've noticed that I do that sometimes. My mind's always racing. I don't generally fight it. I let it be, and sometimes I just observe it. But I don't how do I say? I never saw it as a disconnect, like as though I am separate from my mind, though. Not until this, where they're saying that you are not your mind, and then I can maybe, and this is why I'm saying I think I get a hint of where I'm observing my thoughts. Not all the time, but in mere moments. But I don't know if I am or what. I think I am, but I'm not for sure.
So that is why I am giving you all of this knowledge. Connected है ये attention से. Now you see the next slide will tell you all the types of sanskars. Your impulses, your knowledge based thoughts, desire based thoughts, effects of actions, even the sleep nirodh sanskar जो कहते हैं, and of course the higher experiences of life, spiritual experiences, all of these have been given different names of sanskars. These are all sanskars. So your impulses are called kleshas. Then there are vidya sanskars. अब आप जो पढ़ते हो ना, वो सब भी वृत्तियाँ सृष्टि करता है ना? It is becoming your sanskar. So next class it is easier to do all this work because you have created the sanskars required. So
Sorry, I'm going to rewind that because I want to see that chart again real quick without the text there. Okay, so impulses is Kelasha, Vidya is knowledge base, Vidya, Jnana, samskars. Oh yeah, samskars. Born of desire. Born of desire. Okay. Karma Shaya. Effects of action. Okay, karma. No mind activity. Nirodha. No mind activity. Samskar. I know I've seen this many times before. Just the names to me doesn't ring a bell. I wish if I remember what samskars, the idea of it behind. I know you have the good. There's bad things. There's good things. I just don't remember the names for that because these names, I'm terrible with names. You introduce me to someone, I will not remember their name until I just see them face to face for a lot of times. Prajna, Bhakti, spiritual experience base, Bhakti yoga, Bhakti spiritual. So samskars. I need to look up the definition of it so I can understand this a little bit better. I can't remember if they're good and bad things, and you want to, of course. There's the 3 levels, I believe, if I remember correctly: the bad, the good, and then there's this other thing. But yeah, anyways, continue on.
class it is easier to do all this work because you have created the sanskars required. So that they are called vidya sanskars. Then there are bhog sanskars, all emotion related experiences, vrittis becomes bhog sanskars. Then karmashay jo hai, which is the effect of action. Any action you perform, it will have its impact on your mind. So usse bhi sanskar hote hain jisko karmashay kehte hain.
Okay.
Then nirodh sanskars are there. When there is no special activity or thought, then also a kind of abhav pratyay is there.
Okay, real quick. According to Google, it's saying in Indian philosophy and Indian religion, samskaras or samskars are mental impressions, recollections, or psychological imprints. Impulses or imprints, knowledge base, born of desires, karma. I get that to be karma, but no mind activity. That's weird.
The content of the vrittis, there is no actual content. So that is called a nirodha sanskar. Then spiritual experience based sanskar.
Sorry, we're going to rewind that.
Pratyay is there. The content of the vrittis, there is no actual content. So that is called a nirodha sanskar. Then spiritual experience based sanskars are there, bhakti, prajna, all these are higher sanskars. So a whole lot of sanskars are there in human life. Now depending upon your conscious thought, a particular sanskar will grow. आपने मन कहाँ पर लगाया? Application of mind and conscious thought process are the most important things. That is why आपने मन जहाँ कहाँ लगाया, अब पढ़ाई में लगाया तो विद्या संस्कार will grow, सिनेमा में लगाया तो भोग संस्कार will grow. यही सच है. You know, अच्छे काम किए तो कर्माशय will grow. And अच्छी तरह if you actually get higher awareness through yoga practice and all that, prajna sanskar will grow. So depending upon where you invested vital energy and your thought, your sanskars go on growing in your system. तो इसीलिए कौन बनाता है हमारे संस्कार? हम खुद ही बनाते हैं और कोई नहीं बनाता. You are responsible for your life and destiny. Please know this. Don't blame it on anybody. Tomorrow, you know, when you grow up, you will have a number of people to blame. इसकी वजह से ये हुआ, इनकी वजह से वो हुआ. No, no, no. The fact of the matter is you alone are responsible for your mind. क्योंकि आपने आपके संस्कार create किए हैं.
I'm sorry. I wonder what she would say about karma, though. I know Swami Taramananda would say that you have there's no start to this cycle. It's an infinite loop in a sense, not infinite loop, but an infinite rebirth, and you have an infinite number of good karma and bad karma. And then Lakani would say that there are things outside that you cannot control, and in terms of karma as well, that will affect you in life. She said that you are in control of your life and your destiny. So is she basically saying the good and bad karma is part of your control, in the sense that because you've done good and bad things, I won't say deserve, but you contributed to this. You contribute to this. Oh my gosh! You contributed to this path, and this path is created by you. So this path may have good and bad things, but it's all because of your actions. So nothing in this path wasn't created by anything else other than you and your actions. So even though, of course, you want great things in this path, but because of the bad things that you've done, bad things will happen in this path. And it's not because something's trying to punish you, it's because of the actions you've done in the past, and therefore you created this path. And these bad things are the things that you created. That way, everything that happens in your life is going according to the path that you create yourself. I'm thinking that's what she's trying to say. Let me know if I'm wrong or right. That way I know.
Through your conscious thought process, where you applied your mind, how conscious you became, and where you used your thought energy will decide what kind of sanskars you create. इसीलिए विवेकानंद कहते थे, you are the creator of your destiny. Be aware of your thoughts.
I guess the reason why I brought that up is because Lakhani makes it seem like you're only. He did say this, as a matter of fact, like 1% of your life, 99% is out there, of the things that happen in your life, and that goes in contradiction to what Sadhguru says, where everything that happens in your life, your body is yours. You can't control the external things. They're similar, but the wording makes it sound like they're different. Absolutely, they both say that you're in control of this body. And this body, according to Lakhani, from what I'm understanding, is that you are 1% of the things that happen in this life. And then 99% is everything else external. Very true. Sadhguru, I think, would say the same thing. But Sadhguru says it in a way that I like it better, where you control 100% of this body and you don't control anything exterior. Because in that framing of the word, it makes it seem like you're 100% control of your body. And obviously you can't control anything exterior. But the way Lakhani says it, in my opinion, is like, out of everything that happens in my life, I'm only ever control of 1% of it. And that makes it seem like it's hopeless, or you can't do much, and so why fight it, kind of deal. So I think both of them say the same things, just the wording of how Sadhguru says it is much better in my opinion. It gives people hope that says, yes, I am control of my body. And we can understand that you don't control anyone or anything else, but the fact that you have 100% control of your body as opposed to 1% the control of your life, to me sounds more positive.
Your thoughts verily make you what you are. मैं उन्हीं को quote कर रही हूँ. Take care of what you think, for your thoughts will create you. Your thoughts create your destiny. So no use blaming a parent, teacher, government. No use. वो सच नहीं है. self-development module, you must learn the importance of self-knowledge and how responsible you must be for your own life. See, this is giving you this wealth of knowledge about your own mind. ये सब कौन सृष्टि करता है? हम खुद ही तो कर रहे हैं.
Sorry, real quick again, the way she said you must understand you're in complete control over your life. This to me is very much a contradiction to what I see in America. The victimhood mentality that I see, like, oh, I'm the victim, I'm poor because of this, I can't do this because of that. And in my opinion, there are some legitimate cases like that, but I think it's in the minority. And I think there are more cases out there of people who make a big deal out of nothing. Obviously, you should judge every instance individually, and if it's justified, obviously it's justified. But I think because life is so easy that people are looking to be the victims, because I think people want a purpose in life, and if they can't create a great purpose for themselves, they try to be a victim. And therefore it creates a purpose for them. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so injustice here. There's so much injustice against me. Now I must fight this injustice. That is my purpose. It creates this false sense of injustice that's happening when there's not one. But because they believe it to be so, and they believe they're fighting the good fight of injustice, the fight against injustice, this make-believe injustice, that they have a sense of purpose now. They created their own purpose, which is what you're supposed to do, but not in a false sense.
है ना? Depending upon where you expose yourself, what are the learning, what kind of learning you have, what are your perceptions, what have been your cognitions, where did you invest emotion, your sanskars get created accordingly. What action you performed, what friends you made, what associations you made. पढ़ाई में मन लगा रहे हो या वहाँ बाहर जाके having fun, accordingly will be your marks, according will be your sanskars. है ना? Importance of taking charge of our mind. This is what they are telling us. You create your vrittis and sanskars. So have proper thought mechanism, proper thinking, positive thinking and positive feelings. इसीलिए सर्विस इज पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ. अच्छे काम करना, अच्छे भाव मन में रखना, इट इज नॉट ऑप्शन, इट इज पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ अ गुड लाइफ. इफ यू वांट अ रियली गुड ग्रेट लाइफ, यू विल मेक दिस पार्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ. आपके संस्कार आप खुद ही बनाते हो. देन लेट अस जूम इनटू अ सिंगल थॉट. व्हाट इज वन थॉट? You see, from the point of the mechanics of thinking of yoga psychology, now we have gone into one thought. अब देखिए यहाँ पर you will understand the concepts of vritti and pratyay very clearly. The mental fluctuation, modification of your mind is what is called vritti. वो जो green है ना वहाँ पर, जैसे ECG का चल रहा है, उसको vritti कहते हैं. That's the modification your mind is undergoing, but the content is maybe you are thinking of your home, you are thinking of your house. So उस content को प्रत्यय कहते हैं. Now in any thought there is a modification due to the pratyay, due to the content of your thought. If you are thinking of physics, आपका मन एक तरह से modify हुआ. Suddenly you remembered you fought with your friend, बस immediately दूसरी तरह modify हुआ, क्योंकि the pratyay changed. The pratyay became you fought with your friend. उसने मुझे ऐसा बताया, बोला, I will take revenge. So it changed because your pratyay changed. So the modification of your mind changed. So the content of your vritti is pratyay. Together they make one thought. Now we are going very deep into your mind. एक thought कैसे बनता है? ऐसे बनता है. What is the content of your thinking will create the modifications of your mind. So when you have very erratic modifications going on in mind, you must understand your content is not good enough. आपको पता है जब आप violent चीज़ें देखते हो, या you are indulging in something which is very violent and negative, your mind will become very agitated and restless. देखा even babies they have tracked this. Baby के mind में भी a scene of violence will put it into agitation and वो रोने लगता है. So you see, your vrittis are getting modified as per your pratyay, the content of your thought. So how should your content be? Now if you want calm vrittis, अब आपको वो you don't want donkey mind, monkey mind, butterfly mind, you want ekagra state and niruddha state. So then what should be the content of your vritti? It should be something noble, something positive, something good enough, worthy of you.
Actually, what she's talking about here reminds me of another video I did a long time ago. I think it's Swami Sarvapriyananda talks about how if we practice positive thoughts in our minds, we'd only do positive things in life. It's kind of like I think he was talking about like a habit, like where if we're constantly in the habit of doing good things, we'll continue to do good things because that's a natural habit, and we are creatures of habits. But if we're thinking of bad things all the time, then that's the first thing that we come up with. It's always bad and negative things. It's one of the first videos when I swapped over to doing these videos. But I do remember that, and I think it is a great idea to. But I think I already kind of practiced that. I assume positive always. Well, not always. I won't say always because I'd be lying probably. But I generally assume positive whenever someone does something or anything is done. I assume in the positive first. And then you give me a reason to make me think you're trying to do it negatively. Although I will say, by doing that, you can end up being taken advantage of, obviously, because you're assuming the best intent of people. But of course, you must make sure those people earn your trust first before you can assume positive, but let them earn your trust first. So you don't if they need money, earn their trust first. Assume they're doing it for good intent. That's fine and dandy, but that doesn't mean you have to give them the money. Even if you have money to spare, like you don't know these people, even though you have some money to spare, doesn't mean they'll pay you back. So, and you'll find out the hard way whether they had evil intent or not.
है ना? Are you understanding? See, nobody will give you this analysis in today's world. I am telling you, what you will get in these classes, this is absent from today's world. That is why things are functioning the way they are. If you don't understand yourself first, how will you manage the world? Tell me.
It's very true.
सबके बारे में ज्ञान है, खुद के बारे में कुछ ज्ञान ही नहीं है. That's okay for most people. चलता है जैसे. By the time you are 50, you will go into depression. जब खुद के बारे में ही कोई ज्ञान नहीं है, कभी समझा ही नहीं, what I am about, what this mechanism is, what this mind is, how will you handle other people properly? So clashes will be unavoidable unless you train your mind. So you see, this is how your thought is working. As per your vritti and pratyay, you radiate vital energy, pran. पता है वही है वो नीचे का image. If you are thinking positive thoughts, इसका मतलब है प्रत्यय भी बहुत अच्छी है. vritti accordingly modifies into something very beautiful. You will radiate positive aura. अच्छे अच्छे भाव निकलेंगे, शरीर में से भी निकलेंगे. Because mind and body are united. So your aura is totally decided by your thought process. What do you radiate? If you are trying to impact society, you must first become impactful. You must first become so very positive, and you can say the charisma required for making changes comes only by this, when you are able to understand, identify and correct every thought, make it powerful. ऐसे positive thoughts ना, they are like weapons. आप जो सोचोगे वो हो जाएगा. आप योगियों के लाइफ में आपने सुना होगा ना ये सब बातें. You must have heard of stories about this. They thought and it happened.
I'm not laughing at what she said in that language. I'm assuming Hindi. But no, I'm laughing at the fact that she says your thoughts are like weapons. It's kind of like an example that I use. Like I usually don't say weapons, I say tools, because anything, a weapon is a tool as well. And knives are tools, and shovels are tools, and hammers are tools, and they can be used for good and bad. So I'm assuming that's what she's meant. Like, you know, I don't know here. A weapon is generally can be seen as bad, but tools in general can be seen as both good and bad. But yeah.
So how it happened? Because the thought became like a missile, you know. एक ही चीज इतनी एनर्जी मिल गई उसको कि वो चीज हो गया, वो जो सोचते थे वो. So take care. Take care. Your thought mechanism creates everything for you. You know, your environment also. Since you radiate that level of pran through your thought, the environment you create around you.
Perhaps she's meaning to say because she perhaps used weapon as intent because your thoughts can be destructive. Perhaps that, okay, whenever she means it that way, yeah. So your thoughts can become action, and if those thoughts are bad, your action can be destructive. But that's only the negative sense, though. Weapons, generally speaking, yeah. Anyways, yeah. I think that's what she meant. Hey, let me know again if you want to comment. But yeah, I guess she's not implying, but saying that the fact that our thoughts are like weapons, which if you have bad thoughts, and then they translate into actions, they can become bad actions, and then you get bad karma.
The surroundings, the circumstances, all are consciously or unconsciously created by you.
There it goes.
जब you know they say जब rebirth होता है ना, when the soul takes a body, अब हम सब एक शरीर में आए हैं ना, how does it choose that which body it will come, which family it will come? According to this resonance. जिस तरह का सूक्ष्म शरीर होता है, which means mental makeup होता है, उसी के अनुसार उसका उसी तरह का शरीर, उसी तरह का circumstance, family मिलती है उसको. Because there, you know, you are not going to choose and select and all that, but it should match your resonance. तो इसलिए आप जो radiate करते हो, it will depend on what you are thinking within yourself. So make your thought process very positive, very good, aligned. आप देखिए यहाँ पर जो picture मैंने दिया है, there you will see the vrittis are going at a constant fluctuation. है ना? At least इतना आना चाहिए हमारे life में. प्रत्यय same है वहाँ पर. So this is a concentrated mind.
Real quick, she keeps saying Hannah. I thought she was talking about a particular person. There's probably in the West, there's people. Hannah is a name, Hanna. But I think it looks like it's spelled henna. I don't know what that means. She says it quite a lot though. So it's just is it a speech like, is that right? Is that right? Is it something along those lines?
लेकिन this is not our normal state. You know, want to see our normal state? Yes. Let me start from the normal. Yes. See, this is your normal state. तरह तरह के प्रत्यय है. Every thought is different from the previous thought. तरह तरह की चीज़ें आप सोच रहे हो. पहले घर के बारे में सोचा, फिर ब्रेकफास्ट के बारे में सोचा, फिर शाम को थोड़ा कुछ खेलने को मिल जाए उसके बारे में सोचा, फिर यू थॉट ऑफ सम गार्डन. इतने सारे प्रत्यय हैं. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड द ऑर्डिनरी माइंड विच हैज नॉट येट लर्न टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट. कॉन्सेंट्रेशन में क्या होता है? ग्रेजुअली यू स्टार्ट प्रोड्यूसिंग. यू सी नाउ, see what I have written under that. Unstable vrittis plus dissimilar pratyais is the ordinary mind. Clear? But if you have stable vrittis and occasionally dissimilar pratyais, now you are bringing mind into focus. इसका मतलब है आपने जो प्रत्यय है, जो content of vritti है, उसको अब आप limit करते जा रहे हो. Then you manufacture stable vrittis and similar pratyais, which means same pratyay अगर चलेगा एक ही तरह की वृत्ति में, then it is called a focused mind or concentrated mind. And non-fluctuating vrittis rising and falling at same point and same pratyay is what is called the meditative mind. So a lot of information from Patanjali Yoga Sutras has been condensed into this slide. वो जो पेजेस में कह रहे हैं वो एक स्लाइड में आपको मैंने दिखा दिया. What is the ordinary mind? What is the mind coming into focus? What is the focused mind or the concentrated mind, and what is the meditative mind? All dependent only on your vrittis and pratyais. तो ये जो प्रत्यय एकतानता है, इसका मतलब है maintaining one pratyay, it is to be practiced to get concentrated and meditative mind. Otherwise, always content of thought is which means only thought is flitting from one object to another, your thought is moving. ऐसे माइंड में concentration नहीं आता है. इसीलिए योग, learning the art of putting attention on one single thing alone. दूसरी चीज नहीं है वहां पर. So you see, the way to generate a concentrated mind is through the power of attention. Attention helps you to generate stable vrittis and similar pratyais, thus building focus. Attention is nothing but your awareness come to the forefront and the receding of your thought process. The rise of awareness to the forefront is the culmination of the initial meditative practice. With more practice, attention gets riveted. This is the heart of yoga. See, let me explain this a bit. हमारे माइंड में वृत्तियाँ चलती रहती हैं, उसका तरह तरह के कंटेंट होता है उस वृत्ति का. सो प्रत्यय इज ऑलवेज डिफरेंट. सो योर माइंड इज रेस्टलेस, थिंकिंग ऑफ मेनी थिंग्स एट अ टाइम. As you go on concentrating, pratyais will get limited to one pratyay and vrittis will modify in the same manner. You understand? So same type of vrittis and same pratyay. Then you are coming into deep focus. As you deepen this, there will be only one vritti, not even moving, at the same point, rising and falling same point with the same pratyay. इसी को ध्यान कहते हैं. Now what has happened? Your stupid thought process, हजार चीज़ों के बारे में एक साथ सोचना, that has gone to the background and awareness has come to the forefront. You have become deeply aware rather than identified with your silly thought. ये state is high attentive state. You have become deeply conscious and attentive now. Thought process has gone to the background. Awareness has come to the forefront. समझ में आ रहा है? Only when you attain this, you will understand how stupid I was. कुछ नालायक चीज़ों के बारे में हमेशा सोचते सोचते कहाँ गिर जाता हूँ मैं. You will naturally think like that. Your silly worries, fears, unproductive memories and passions, all this carry away your energies. तो इसीलिए meditation important हो जाता है. You see, it will help you build attention. When this state is achieved, now what has happened? Awareness has come to the forefront and thought has receded. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप सो गए. No, no, no. You have become deeply conscious. But thought process is under control. It is in the background. You have become deeply aware. So attention का definition ही हुआ, it is nothing but a beam of your awareness directed by your will. Attention का क्या definition है according to yoga psychology? It is a beam of your awareness directed by your will. तो awareness forefront में नहीं आएगा तो कैसे attention build up होगा? That is why you must practice yoga so that this being carried away by thought process stops. That is why it is so important. You become more aware than identified. You become more conscious than stupid. And you will become very, very attentive at that point. So the very definition of attention, by definition, attention is, देखिए ये power of attention. Attention is a steady beam of your mental awareness generated by your will. And it is through the power of attention that you focus and concentrate your mind. वहाँ जो पहला पिक्चर दिया गया है, it is the concentrated attentive mind. देखिए आपका attention, it is like a laser, इतना focused है. You can do delicate eye surgery with laser. The most delicate surgery. अगर attention ऐसा हो तो you can do anything. The most delicate things of life will be very easy for you. और अगर attention second picture जैसा हो, no beam at all, utterly scattered, then even if you give 24 hours a day to the task you are performing, nothing will happen. Nothing serious will happen in your life. है ना, ये देख लिया है ना आपने?
There's the word henna. So, I mean, that's honestly, some things over here are taught in terms of this. This seems like time management as well. Although, I think this is obviously going to be a lot better because this deals with more along the lines of not just the physical realm, but just, of course, you're even just, well, part of your physical realm, but not external, but also internal physical, as in your thought process and all that. Because a lot of people, they're not exactly mentally focused, but they're able to focus external things. So their mind may be running all over the place, but they're still able to do certain things in the external world, but yet their emotions and everything scattered. And hopefully, from what I'm understanding with this, because it pushes back your thoughts, and it helps you have it kind of in some sense separates your thoughts and emotions from your how do I say, I wouldn't say your mind or your focus, but it allows you to kind of keep that back, let you think, and then kind of analyze what you need to do. Whereas I know some people out there who are kind of their thoughts are all over the place, but yet they can still put things in order in real life. And I think time management is something like that they teach over here, but I don't think it's good enough.
So, power of attention you must understand, and the ability to build attention, bring it like this into focus. This is something ये आपको सीखना ही है. This is the purpose of this course. No use just knowing a few concepts. Now you will generate that level of attention in these classes, and you will apply them further on. ये हम practice करेंगे, लेकिन theory में आप ये जान लो. See, nobody will give you this definition of attention. You know कैसे definitions देते हैं psychology में attention के? Ability to remove other things from the mind. That is not enough. Positively, what is it? From the first person standpoint, what is it? It is nothing but your own mental awareness come into complete fruition and focus, and directed by your will. So attention depends on your willpower. So
Sorry, I will say it's interesting. I don't think I've heard any other gurus or Swami talk about willpower as much as she has in this one. And I'm wondering, so willpower has to be obviously something in the objective or transactional reality. It's very interesting. Everyone else seems to be pointing at your Atma, your true self, that you are unaffected by things. But here she seems to be more along the lines of actions, karma, your willpower, because your willpower allows you to do things. Whereas a lot of the other ones so far have been mostly looking inwards and meditative and not doing things. But I mean, I guess technically your willpower to stop doing things so that you can have a clear mind.
The undercurrents of attention, then, that also you should know. The undercurrents of attention will be your awareness and your will. If awareness is not there in the mind, only your silly thought process is going on, attention cannot be built. If will is not there to build attention, attention cannot be built. So these are the undercurrents of attention. So take charge of yourself. And also you should remember, there is no point in learning attention, concentration, all this if you cannot focus it on worthy goals. ये भी है ना? You know, Hitler was very concentrated guy. Hitler. क्या हुआ उस concentration का? So if you don't have, इसीलिए मैंने आपको संस्कार का slide दिखाया. अच्छे संस्कार ना हो तो better not build concentration. Only if you have worthy sanskars and a very pointed mind, you will really do good.
I like how I guess you came up with that example. The sheer fact that, again, like how I say tools. The only reason why I say tools is because tools aren't necessarily good nor bad. It's all how it's used. A hammer can help you build a shelf, a house, or it could be used as a weapon. It's all dependent on how it's used. It can be good or bad. And I guess I think what she was pointing out there was the fact that, you know, if you have this concentration, do it on good things. Whereas this concentration can be used for bad, kind of like what Hitler did. Excuse me, kind of like what Hitler did, which he used it for bad. That's the reason why I generally use the word tools, because a tool can be used for good or bad. Whereas weapons generally is always looked at as a negative, but you can use it for self-defense or for offense. Defense or offense.
ये एक ऐसा मैकेनिज्म है, आप करोगे तो आपको मिल जाएगा, लेकिन the groundwork should be very good. The foundation upon which you build attention. You must possess good sanskars fundamentally in life. Then on that you build everything. इसीलिए अच्छी चीज़ें देखना, अच्छे काम करना, good exposures, good reading, good habits in life. Right now you make it part and parcel of your life. तभी this level of attention will really help you. This is yogic attention, you know. Otherwise, ultimately you will focus this attention on something silly. तो इसीलिए remember awareness and its investment in your thought process. इसका मतलब बहुत गहरा है, अभी हम उसमें नहीं जाएंगे, but at least you should know this. Awareness and will are the undercurrents of your attention. These two must come to the forefront in your mind, and your thoughts of fear, anger, hatred, whatever, that should recede. वो पीछे जाने चाहिए. That you should try to obliterate as far as possible. Then attention can be built up to this level. Because by definition it is nothing but it is your mental awareness directed by your will. It's a beam of your mental awareness. Now if you actually watch the practical scenario, you will see most people only know thoughts. Awareness के बारे में उतना कुछ they have no idea. सुना भी नहीं है बहुत लोगों ने. सुना है कभी awareness के बारे में इतनी चर्चा? नहीं, सुना नहीं है. We are only identified with thought, but what is it that enlivens your thought? It is awareness. वो पीछे खड़ी है awareness. That is why your thought means something to you. आप देखिए आपका mental mechanism ऐसे ही काम कर रहा है. Now your job is to bring awareness to the forefront and put thought behind. Meditation का यही मकसद है. You become more aware than identified with the thought process. When you are able to do this, attention will peak. Peak attention means peak performance in anything. तो उसका mechanics ये हैं. Now, how do we actually apply this? I can give you any number of examples for this state. Example देने से वो याद भी रहता है आपको. You know, there is another incident of this kind of a complete yogic concentration. विवेकानंद के लाइफ में तो बहुत आप मिलेंगे. एक बार बेलूर मठ में एनसाइक्लोपीडिया ब्रिटानिका को लेकर भी ऐसा ही एक इंसिडेंट है. स्वामी जी एक एक दिन में एक एक वॉल्यूम पढ़ रहे हैं. So somebody told him that how can you, his own disciple actually, he had come and he asked him that Swamiji, how have you read so many volumes so quickly? तो Swamiji ने कहा, you please ask me whatever you want. और उसने पूछा and Swamiji same capacity, verbatim बोल रहे हैं वहाँ पर क्या लिखा है. एक बार पढ़ने से ये कैसे संभव है? By the power of attention. By the power of attention. See, when you actually are in a completely attentive state, you will lose sense of time and space. ये हुआ है आपके लाइफ में? कभी कभी rarely होता है. अब जब I don't know how many of you are in the PhD. Many times I have found my PhD students saying this कि होता है मैम ये. इसको एक नाम भी है आजकल ना. There's a huge study of this process, especially awareness, attention, their connection. It is being studied the world over. The insight I am giving you is the insight of yoga psychology. लेकिन वहाँ पर सब जगह में कैसे study कर रहे हैं? They are studying it as, they call it flow. It's a word coined by Csikszentmihalyi, Csikszentmihalyi. He has coined this word called flow, which means you are wrapped in some object, on something you are studying or anything, and you lose sense of time and space spontaneously. कभी कभी म्यूजिक सुनते ये होता है ना. You got so totally involved in the music कि आप भूल ही गए कितना समय कितना बजा, कि कुछ खाया या नहीं खाया. You don't remember anything. When you are playing a game of chess, कितने लोग खेलते हो? No time for chess. Okay. few play chess. So chess में जब climax होता है तब ऐसे होता है ना. You forget naturally. You are riveted because you have to win. So
I will not deny that. Whenever you are so focused and engulfed in whatever it is that you're doing, you will lose time and time will fly.
There are states in your everyday life where you experience this flow. जब naturally time space drop and your attention becomes unmoving, क्योंकि ऐसा climactic situation है. Now the point is you must learn to generate flow even when there is no challenge.
Okay. Now that is interesting. Good way to put that. That made me think. And I understand that perfectly too. To generate, like when you're so enthralled and focused on something that you're doing, that your mind just somehow goes silent and it's just focused on that one thing that you're doing. All thoughts, all everything is about that one thing and that one thing alone. Have I ever done that? I don't think so. Has my mind gone blank a few times? I'm sure it has, but I've never noticed. I don't think it happens too often though. If it ever, I don't know if it ever happens, put it that way. But you do notice the times whenever you're hyper focused. I don't really remember if there's any times where I'm not thinking. I'm sure I've always thought of something and my mind is not usually blank, but I'm not always aware of it. But that's an interesting one. Because
flow is considered it's actually a function between challenges and skills. If you are very skillful in something and as there's a real challenge in front of you, flow is generated. देखा है mathematical problems को tackle करने के समय this happens. A real challenging situation and you are skilled enough, then completely you'll dive into it. So
I guess this goes along. I guess this goes along the lines of people who are very much into challenges, basically, who likes. I won't say difficulty, but likes challenges. I guess that's the best way to put it. Who likes challenges? I'm very much into that. You know, I consider myself a problem solver, and when there's a problem, I think of things, I focus on it, and I try to think of solutions. Yeah.
If you are able to generate flow without even a challenge, that is yoga.
That is interesting.
Which means this is your normal state of mind where your attention remains on the object, does not flit from there. Whatever you are doing, agar ye habit ho jaye, tell me what will stop your success in life?
That is a very good way of putting that. Wow. I know Sadhguru has talked about that, where if you can, I'm trying to remember what he said, but essentially, this goes back to what Sadhguru says about controlling yourself, controlling your. End of video, by the way. The next part's going to be for part 2 for sure, but that what she said there It's along the lines of what Swami and Guru have said in my other videos, but it didn't quite fit. It didn't quite click. I understood what they're saying, but nothing like that. That is a direct example that I've experienced. You know, the hyper focus off of problem solving, and then everything just kind of just freaking disappears, and you're just focused on the problem, and time flies. I've experienced that. I know what that's like. Then all of a sudden she says the same thing, but without the challenge. I'm like, holy crap. Because I don't think I've ever done that, but I know the experience of the challenge. But now getting that same effect without the challenge, wow, now that's interesting. And she's saying that's what yoga is. Oh, wow. Now, you do, like, there are times where people like sit there and stare and they kind of daydream. That's not really yoga. That's not hyper focusing. I mean, there are looking at something, but their mind is all over the place. But to have that mental focus but without a challenge, I don't know. I don't think I've ever done that. It's pretty crazy. Let me know if you've done anything like that in the comments. Is it something that you can control, or is it something that just happens from time to time? Let me know. I'm curious if anyone's ever done that. I don't think I have. I've done the focus whenever there's a challenge, but without a challenge, I don't think so. At least if I've done it, it's not been. It wasn't the similar effect. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. But I don't know how to do that. That's what yoga's for. Anyways, that's my reaction, at least for part 1 for Science of Focus by woman. I will hopefully get your name right. Pravrajika Divyanandaprana. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.